Good morning. Welcome to A Glow Life. Grab your cup of coffee and snuggle in while I read you a little excerpt from chapter 10, A Peculiar Dream, March 5th, 2020. I'm going to start on page 126. July of 2019. During the previous summer, it was my first trip to Greece, and due to my mishap with the missed flight, we arrived very late to the village of Delisi. Vasily opened the gate to their summer estate and parked the car. I got out and stretched. The moon and stars were bright as my eyes adjusted to the new surroundings. I was greeted by a bountiful array of flowers, herbs, and trees in varying stages of their yearly production. My eyes followed the rock drive to the expansive patio with tables, padded chairs, umbrellas. The L-shaped house was white with island blue accents and crimson red ceramic tile roof. It was stunning. Jasmine vines intertwined on the trellis overhead as a variety of flowers in ceramic pots nodded their sleepy heads in the mild breeze. I gathered my belongings from inside the car, while noticing to the right of me was a small structure with identical architecture as the house. Immediately, I felt the pure energy of it. It had to be the little church Vivi had told me about. It was late. I would quietly rush into the house and given a quick tour of the essentials, then shown to my room. The unexpected long travel day had completely worn me out. Ding, Dimitri's message. You made it okay? Yes, it's lovely here, I typed. Kalinita. That means good night, he typed. We can chat more tomorrow, he concluded. I awoke a few hours later with the cock-a-doodle-doo of the neighbor's rooster. I made a mental note to locate my earplugs by bedtime. Overhearing someone stirring in the kitchen, I put on a light jacket over my pajamas and walked down the hall. I quietly hugged Vivi's shoulders. I was so happy to see her again. The Greek culture is as vast as the sea with which it's held. There's no end to the hospitality. Vivi quickly prepared a Greek cup of coffee along with a plate of Greek feta cheese, preserved olives from her garden, and bread crisps from the local bakery. She handed me the plate, then silently slipped out the door. We sat at a table on the patio while the rest of the house slept. I enjoyed the solitude of the Mediterranean breakfast under the feminine sweetness and masculine wildness of the jasmine trellis hanging over my head. Vivi drank her coffee and smoked a cigarette. When we finished, a tour of the garden commenced. Vivi shared with her wealth of knowledge, health benefits, maturity, and bounty, utilization in the kitchen and medicinally, as well as how to preserve the bounty of each kind. I was touched by the loving way she cared for her garden and the property. It was an interactive tour. She offered samples of flavors, aromatics as we meandered through the olive, pomegranate, fruit, and citrus trees. The herbs were plentiful. Rosemary the size of shrubs, ginormous oregano and mint plants, and a bay leaf tree for cooking. Oh, and potted basil, which is not eaten in Greece. It is merely a decoration, an ornamental plant. A variety of cactus far taller than me with huge petal-like arms extended into giant thorns. I made a note to stay clear of that. Lastly, she introduced me to her beautiful flowering beauties, varieties of rosins, lavender, jasmine, and more. On completion of the tour, she produced a small key from her pocket. Turning in the direction of the little structure at the front of the property, she said, Ella, and motioned for me to follow. I'd been anxiously waiting since Vivi's invitation a few months ago in Phoenix to commune in the little church. Glow was radiating immensely. She reverently opened the door, welcomed me inside, and closed it behind us. The interior was adorned with heirloom collection of sacred art, a generational connection to the divine. On the walls hung Greek Orthodox Catholic icons, framed pictures of saints, a variety of crosses, floral arrangements, and a few wooden carvings. Vivi quietly opened the tiny side window for ventilation and began preparations for burning incense on the center table. She motioned for me to sit in the side chair, and I quietly obeyed. To read more about this beautiful experience in the little church grab your copy of A Glow Life at www.aglowlife.com.